Item number 110.
We have publication, Mr. Chair, on item P110.
Yes.
It was published in the Tampa Bay Times on November 2nd, 2022, November 9th, 2022, November 16th, 2022, and November 23rd, 2022. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Christina Cordone, Assistant Director for the Parks, Recreation, and Natural Resources Department. In front of you is a resolution adopting the uniform method of collection for the Gulf Harbors Neighborhood Park MSBU. The Board approved Ordinance 22-07 on February 22nd, 2022, which established the Gulf Harbors Neighborhood Park MSBU. In conjunction with the MSBU, it is proposed that the uniform method of collection be used. This proposed resolution is required per Florida statute and sets forth the need for the levy and includes a legal description and the boundaries of the real property subject to the levy. It also serves as notice to the property owners that future real property tax bills will also contain assessments to be paid. And in this morning's board meeting, it was approved on consent the agreements between the board and the property appraiser and the board and the tax collector, providing for reimbursement of the necessary administrative costs for the collection of the assessment. This is a map of the MSBU boundary for Gulf Harbors. And the Parks, Recreation, and Natural Resources Department recommends that the board hold a public hearing, accept public comment, and approve the resolution adopting the uniform method of collection, authorizing the chairman to execute the resolution and direct board records for to distribute.
Okay. Commissioner Starkey, any questions?
Oh, man, let's get this through. We just kind of missed it doing this last year, so this
Correct.
get us on the tax roll. So
Okay.
we're rocking and rolling there, and happy to see this going through. And I am allowed to vote on it because there are so many houses in Gulf Harbors. Did I say that right?
Well, you're allowed to vote on it because this is just putting it on the tax bill. It's not a special private gain or loss.
And I have two
For
lots in there, so I'm
taxes.
hitting myself twice.
Okay. Any other questions for staff? All right, this is a public hearing. Anyone from the public?
I have two individuals signed up. We have Ken Dabbs. There you go.
Go ahead and have the second person lined up. Please. I have to be somewhere.
How many
at 5.
signed up? 10?
That's it?
No, there's one more. Marie, last name I don't know how to pronounce.
Right there.
Huh?
That's Ham.
Hanf, thank you. And that's it for the signing up.
All right, Ken?
Ken Dabbs, 4617 Florimar Terrace, Newport Richey, 365, what is it, 34652. Been there 21 years, can't remember my own zip.
Have you been sworn?
I have
You
been
don't- He
sworn,
doesn't have to be sworn
No,
for this one.
okay.
and I take exception to what I just heard. I just heard there's a legal description of this property, this park. There is not. There is a legal description of two pieces of property that ELAMP owns some of, and the neighborhood park will be the rest of it. But nobody can show me a survey saying what will be the park and what is ELAMP. Now, I've sat through these advisory committee meetings that we've been having. Commissioner Starkey was at one. We asked about drainage. Her answer was, well, I don't know what's going on. And Jack, you know about the flooding in there.
Okay, that's not what
I
I
don't know
said.
what's going on. I'll check with Sammy. That's the last I heard of that. Keith was asked the same question, Keith Wiley, at another committee meeting. Well, I don't know. Kawika Bailey was asked at another meeting. Well, I'm not Public Works, I don't know. So here we are, we're going to be taxed on something. We can't even figure out what it is that we get to call the park. So we're being taxed for a piece of property can't even figure out what it is we're going to be responsible for. We can't use the thing. You got a cyclone fence across the front of it. Keith Wiley's told us we can't go on it. You can't mow it. Quicker Bailey said, yeah, he met with the mowing people. They mowed part of it, but because of the flooding in there, they can't even mow the whole thing. But we borrowed $25,000 against next year's taxes to pay for the mowing on a county-owned piece of property that we can't even use. Are you people serious?
Marie Hanf?
Hi, I'm Marie Hanf. I live at 4909 Glen Drive in Gulf Harbors, and I've been there for almost 50 years, but I'm only 28. Anyway, I've never liked the whole situation with this Gulf Harbors things, but I'm not going into it. It's been going on for years. But my concern today is about our representation in discussing the property, which we owe $600,000 on. The county paid too much for it. They didn't do due diligence, I don't think, in purchasing it, but that's for another day. But there's a group who's supposed to represent us. I don't know who they are. They never can give us any notice. There is never a meeting in Gulf Harbors, which would be nice. It's always held out here at the county building. And we, unfortunately, everything is all hearsay. We're going to get taxed $100 a year. Then it's 7% on what we owe, which would be about $42,000. So we need clarity here. That's what I'm asking you for. Whoever this committee is was not chosen by us. It was chosen by the county. And I just feel like we should have better representation. I'm not sure if we have 1,200 or 1,800 houses, something like that in there. So we're going to be putting over a whole lot of money to give to the county to pay for this, what they call park. I can't even call it that because there's no way I'm walking back there with the snakes. But thanks for hearing me, and hopefully we can find out who this committee is and if they can represent us properly.
Thank you.
Thanks.
There's someone here from the Parks Department, correct? Oh, it's you. Okay. Come on.
So Commissioners, I can let you know that the next Gulf Harbors Advisory Meeting is on January 10th in this boardroom. It is also, the Gulf Harbors Neighborhood Advisory Group has a website page, and Kavika Bailey, which Mr. Ken did reference, is working with the Civic Association to ensure that that website that has information and minutes from the meetings is also posted on that neighborhood group, so they can get more information.
And how often do they meet?
They meet typically every 2 or 3 weeks.
Twice a month? And the public's invited?
Yes.
On the drainage, our engineering department is working on that drainage permit to pump on the east side, where we had some work done before, so that project is going through. The property is wet, which is why we want to have that pump, and the boundaries have not been set yet, but they will be set eventually. That's part of the task of the task force. And board members, 50% of this property was purchased by ELAMP, and 50% of the property is being purchased by the community who voted in favor to purchase it. It was a great deal. And we're very excited to have a park, because we don't have any place like that in our community. It's been vacant for decade, I don't know, 10, 15 years. It's an old golf course. So I'm sorry, I know Barbara wanted to come and speak, but I think we went long today, so she's not here. But the community is very excited about the park, and it's going to take a little while to get all the amenities we want in there, because we are self-funding it, and we missed the opportunity to put this MSTU on the tax roll last year, because we had, we missed a date or something. So we're 1 year behind in starting to collect the fees. Is it 300 a house, 600 a house?
So the advisory committee is still finalizing that estimate. We will bring back
No,
to
we
the
know,
board.
we know what our purchase
Mr.
price
Chairman,
is.
if I may.
Yeah.
What is before you today is putting this on the tax rolls. What is not before you today is what the assessment will
Right.
be. That will be a public hearing.
But we
that will
know,
occur-
we know how much we paid for it.
That will be a public hearing that will occur sometime in August, September.
But we know that each house owes a portion of that 600,000. It's divided by X amount of houses, so, yeah, it's far less than what a park park impact fee would be per house today, far less, so. I would make the motion to approve.
Second. And just a little further discussion. I would like to see the proper descriptions of both parcels. I think that should have been done when we bought it under ELAMP anyway, if we use those funds already, but I think it's a very reasonable request to get that quickly. If a pu-
And the legal description that is referenced is the legal description of the MSBU, not of the
I
park.
no, I understand.
Just,
But it's a legit question, I think we should get that. And as far as the drainage out there, let's go look for the solutions. If a pump is the way it needs to be,
There's one in the works,
okay.
a
But
pump on the east side.
if a pipe works too to help, then we should be
Well,
looking at that too.
it's a pipe through an easement onto head sail.
Okay. Could it be gravity fed possibly, or are they looking at that?
I'm not an engineer.
All right,
I don't know what they're doing.
so they are studying that, and that's good,
Yes,
because
we are-
I do want to see that get done as
Yeah.
well. Okay, very good.
We do too.
well,
Otherwise, it's a wet park.
Exactly, we need to fix it. We make it as good as we can so the people can use it as done. I really don't think the residents, as we're going through this process, especially if it's going to take much longer to have to, well, the quicker we can get it done, the better. Any other questions, comments? All right, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, thank you.